Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Welcome to the Push to Pass podcast. Let's talk about scaling a business, particularly in the context of my experience with JP Murray Racing. We're 2.5 years into this journey now. It is my second startup after I launched the Murray Company almost 15 years ago. One of the biggest lessons that I've learned is the importance of taking the time to figure things out before making big moves. I encourage you to start small, just you. I don't want to put mouths at the table that I am unable to feed. Number one, understand your true needs. The services and support I require are quite different from what I initially thought. For instance, if I were to hire today, it would be for prospect research, finding the right people and companies to target with racing partnerships. Here's why. Almost every company involved in motorsports is being approached by every single race team in every single series. I didn't know that until I got into it for some time. So identifying the right prospects, absolutely crucial, and it takes time. So if I was out to hire someone right now, that would be the area. But see, it took me time to determine that that was a particular need that I might have. The second item is hire when it is absolutely physically painful. Do not rush to expand your team. Wait until the need becomes so pressing that you really can't get through the day. When you do hire, you want these people to flourish long term, not because you've got a temporary need, because of a surge of some type. My hope is that you never have to eliminate positions because you have grown responsibly. Because that leads into the third thing. Always remember the human element. These are wonderful people we're talking about. They've put their career on the line and invested time into your company, and they want to be a part of it. So therefore, as a leader, I feel deeply responsible for them. This responsibility should factor into every single scaling, hiring decision you make. Do you have the money to pay for this person for the next year if nothing changes in terms of your revenue streams? That is one factor that I always thought about. Number 4, I mentioned pain a little bit, but let's do it again. Scale where it hurts the most. Start scaling in the areas where you really know that long term this is something that you must address or it's going to inhibit the ability for your company to be effective. My first move was to get someone to handle my financial transactions. It's something that I wasn't interested in. I really couldn't do it very well at scale. It wasn't something that I was going to learn. So when you do that, this enables you as the leader to identify areas needed because you're witnessing the challenges firsthand every day because you started small. And that's my overriding theme. Number 5, to start small, I'm going to challenge you to be patient and observe. You're setting yourself up for a smarter, more sustainable growth. It's not about growing fast or impressing people because you're at a reception and say, oh yeah, we got 20 people doing this work. I want to grow right and I want to build an excellent company. And you do that by starting small and starting slow. Currently with JP Murray Racing, I'm still in that phase. I'm super patient about what our current priority is. I think it's prospect research right now. And if we continue to go the route that we're going, annual growth every year, it's not the flashiest area of the business, but that's where I would make a hire. Another area I'd like to chat about today is business marketing when you're in this startup phase. You're building brand and marketing to get new drivers and teams as clients. You are also presenting the team to corporate marketers that might be buyers. Please don't be boring. The sport or your business isn't. So why should our marketing be? If we look at it, Red Bull is caffeine in a can, but they have an exciting culture and brand around speed and adventure and motorsports. Consumers buy their apparel to promote their brand and their teams because they're so dynamic. Nike is a shoe, and now apparel, of course, but fundamentally it was a shoe company to start. That's boring, but we all know that the brand isn't. In the business-to-business environment that I operate in now, I see marketing and branding is very boring. Even if your industry isn't exciting, I think your marketing and your branding can be an outlier. It can be exciting and it can be memorable. Think about enthusiasm and adventure and authenticity and how you can portray that in your brand today. I'd like you to try these simple approaches. Use video to document your approach to marketing and sponsorship and your drivers if you're in motorsports. Produce a podcast. Thanks for listening to this one. I have never experienced a better method to reach people directly than by podcasting. If I'm in the manufacturing business, I would talk about manufacturing something narrow and highlight the people that are superstars on my team or customers that we work with. Finally, smile and have fun with your content. Here the fact of the matter is you can start all these things without hiring anybody. Friends, I want to thank you for listening to this podcast. I have a favor to ask. If you enjoy my content, could you share this podcast with someone? Please subscribe to my newsletter. You can do that on LinkedIn or on my website. And finally, if we are not connected, look me up on LinkedIn. I'd like to become connections there. I can't wait to chat with you next week on the Push to Pass podcast. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.